First thing I'm going to do is, if you don't have a great big soup kettle, invest in one, because you need a nice big pan, and you'll use it all the time. In fact, I got a couple of great soup kettles for my wedding 19 years ago, and I'm still using them today. If you have too small of a pan, your soup's get all over the kitchen, and I think the bigger, the better. So we're going to start out with some Italian sausage. We're going to use the sweet or the mild Italian sausage, and a lot of times you'll find it in the grocery store right in the links already. Not a big deal. Just split the casing open and just, pull that sausage out of the links. But you're starting to find it more and more because people are using it instead of just, grilling up the Italian sausage. They're starting to use it in recipes, lasagna, soups, and things like that. So at Festival, they actually have it right in bulk. And you just, there you go. There that went, the little top of that. Snip off the top, and we're going to start frying it up. Get it into our pan. And it just squeezes right out, really, really easy. If you like your, if you're a little spicier type of person, like things with some heat, go ahead and use the hot Italian sausage. I really like, they make theirs homemade there, and it's really full of flavor. Some of the best I've ever had. Okay. And the recipe calls for 1 pound, by the way, of Italian sausage. I'm going to get my little chop and stir gadget here. Or just a mashed potato masher works great. And we just want to get this crumbly. And sometimes this pork sausage is so nice and lean that a little bit of olive oil will help move things along. Don't need a lot, just a little bit in there. So get that going. While I'm doing this, I got to tell you about our big night out. 1 week away. Deb, are you getting excited?
I am.
I am too. I'm really excited about it, actually. We are going to go, because I'm craving, this is the time of year where I'm craving that comfort food, the mashed potatoes and the pot roast and soups. Anyway, we're headed to a great restaurant in Appleton, a wonderful supper club that's been around in Appleton for years and years. It's called Mark's East Side, and not only are they known for their, steaks and seafood and prime rib and their fish fry on Friday, but they also, one of their specialties is German food. So we are doing a complete German dinner, starting with, if you ever had those fried sauerkraut balls, and they have a horseradish dipping sauce and a German sausage sampler platter. That's what our hors d'oeuvres are going to be. Then we move on to their famous liver dumpling soup, spinach salad with hot bacon dressing. They make theirs homemade there. And then for the main course, a complete German sampler platter with schnitzel and spätzle and red cabbage and sauerkraut and all that good stuff. My mouth is just water thinking about it. And for dessert, German chocolate cheesecake. This is all going to be paired with wines and German beers and even a German liqueur. This one's booking up pretty fast, but I understand there's still some spots open. So call today to make reservations. It's going to be a ton of fun. Deb will be there. I'm going to be there. You want to see what Deb looks like? She's really cute, by the way. Meet Deb, meet me. Deb's husband will be there. It's just a lot of regulars who've been coming every time, and then a lot of new people. It's just a fun way to meet people. Bring your girlfriends, your coworkers, your husband. Just a really fun night to try a new, different local restaurant that you might not have tried, and they put out their very best. I mean, so it's just really a cool night. All right, my sausage is taking its good old time getting there, so I'm going to start working on the vegetables. Hurry up, we're getting hungry. I'm going to add a little bit of onion, 2 cups actually of diced onion. Get that working with the sausage. And I'm going to start chopping some celery. This is a really simple, it's a pretty quick soup recipe to make. Some soups, take hours and hours and hours. Not this one. I don't have hours and hours and hours. And you probably don't have either. We had the first fire in our fireplace the other night. And it just felt so good. It's been kind of crazy this fall, which I've been liking it. It's hot one day, cold the next. So, it's like flannel jammies one day and then back to the summer nighties the next. Bob said the other day, you think we should put the heat on? I said, me, I'm a big wimp. It's like, I'm always cold. I said, no, let's wait. Still don't have my mums in my planters yet. Still have my geraniums. Hopefully switch those out this weekend. Okay, check on the sausage. Starting to smell really good. add my celery. About 2 cups. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. I like a lot of vegetables in my soup. It's a great way to sneak those vegetables into your kids, because when they're in a soup, they just, they eat it. All right, so that's doing its thing. I'm going to open a couple of cans. I've got 2 cans of, I've got one of the big guys, a 28-ounce can of Italian, or just basically diced chopped tomatoes. This one actually being that it's a tortellini soup. When you go to the canned tomato section of the grocery store, now they have, for the same price usually, if you're doing like a Mexican Southwest type of soup, they'll have canned tomatoes with the green chilies and, just some Southwest flavorings. Same goes, why not get a little bit more flavor? This one happens to be Italian seasoned tomatoes, and it's got herbs and some olive oil, sometimes some basil, so, go for it. And this is going to go in juice and all. I try and keep especially in fall and winter, pretty stocked pantry. So on those nights where it's like going to the grocery store is just one more thing. If I've got, canned tomatoes, canned beans, some of those staples in my pantry, pasta, what's for dinner? Well, let me look and see. And, just open up the pantry and you can, kind of wing it and make soups and stews and things like that in a real hurry without having to, run to the grocery. So think about that, especially when things go on sale, canned beans, tomatoes, some of the basics. These beans, we're going to use cannelloni beans, which, it's actually they're white kidney beans. There's like that funky liquid inside. We don't want to be using that. So I'm going to drain and rinse that liquid. My sausage is cooking, looking great. I'm going to start seasoning it up. My vegetables are just starting to get a little bit tender. You know me, I love my garlic salt, so I'm going to throw some garlic salt in here. Just a pinch of red pepper flakes, just for a little bit of heat. If you don't want it hot at all, and don't worry, it's not going to make it spicy. Just leave those out. I do a lot of basil. I've got a good couple teaspoons of dried basil. Oh, it smells good. I'm going to start dumping. I'm going to get my diced tomatoes in here. And there's always a little bit of tomato left in that can, so, swirl a little water in there and get every bit of that out. Now you're ready to recycle this. All right, let me rinse and drain my beans. Just get rid of that liquid. Get those cannelloni beans in. One 15-ounce can, right in there. Again, a great way. Beans are so good for you, and it really makes, these fall and winter soups a little heartier to have, some more protein in here besides the sausage, and a great way, again, to sneak that into soups and stews. So I really like beans. If your family doesn't like them, leave them out. Not a big deal. Okay, now we've got some chicken broth we need to add. The recipe calls for Deb, what was it? 8 cups, I believe, of chicken stock. And I just got a whole lesson on this. I absolutely love the convenience of chicken broth and stock in boxes because, you use it a little, but you have a little left. Just snap the top and then in the fridge, and next time you need broth or stock, it's right here. But I got a whole lesson on the difference between chicken stock and chicken broth. And now I'm really hooked on, instead of buying broth, buying stock. Broth, you'll see when you use chicken stock, this box chicken stock, it's normally all natural. They're actually using chicken and the bones and vegetables to make it. Just a deeper, dark, richer color compared to chicken broth, which is, what we grew up with, just the canned chicken broth. It's just, it's normally bouillon-based, doesn't have, it's just not as good, and the flavor isn't as good. So if you have the choice and it's in your budget, stick with the stock rather than the broth. All right, a little bit more of this chicken stock. Just makes it richer, and it's available, so why not? Okay. Now I just want to bring that up to a simmer, and I'm going to do that, put the lid on, and then I'm going to add my tortellini. The recipe calls, and you can do this all in one pan. You don't need to be boiling the tortellini in a separate pan, and that's what I like about this recipe too. The fewer the dishes, the happier I am. So the recipe calls for either 2 9-ounce or 1, this happens to be a 20-ounce package of cheese tortellini, 3 cheese tortellini, this one happens to be, but whatever your favorite tortellini is. I usually like to get this in the refrigerator section of the grocery store. If you can't find it in the refrigerated fresh pasta area of the grocery store, check the freezer section because they've got it there too. So, anywhere between, you're basically looking for about 20 ounces. So this is going to go into the soup. And again, you don't have to cook it. We'll just put it right in there. And while I'm doing this, one more quick thing I have to mention. I have been actually, my days have been so crazy busy that I've actually been getting up early to read our new book club book. Wow, it's so good. It's called Tomorrow River by Leslie Kagan, and I just can't put it down. It's about 2 little girls. They're actually about Ireland's age, 11. They're twins, and they're growing up. And their mom disappears. They can't find their mom. Basically, I'm at the point where I don't know if mom took off or what happened to mom. So their dad's trying to raise them. Just a great, great story. And again, this is a neat thing because Leslie Kagan, who is national best-selling author, who wrote the book, this is her 3rd book, is actually coming to our book club meeting. So how cool is that? Mark your calendars. It's Tuesday, October 5th at 5:30 at Reader's Loft in Bellevue. I sure hope to see you there. It's going to be a ton of fun. So I'm going to add my pasta, and I'm just going to let this cook for about 5 minutes. That fresh pasta does not take long at all to cook. One more little secret ingredient I'm going to add, well, actually 2. I'm going to throw some fresh spinach in here. Again, another great way to sneak some spinach in, and it looks like a lot, but it's just going to wilt right down. And then just a splash toward the end of balsamic vinegar. So I'm going to let this simmer just for a few minutes, and I'm going to serve it up with some fresh Parmesan cheese and some garlic bread in just a minute. And man, is this good. Your family's going to love this one. Recipes on our website. You can also pick it up at any festival food.